Everlasting Father, in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, this morning we bow at your feet with thanksgiving in our hearts. Thank you for the gift of life. Thank you for the grace of salvation. Thank you for this beautiful day that you have given unto us. Your word reminds us that you daily load us with the benefits. Today we appropriate the benefits of this day individually and even as organizations and as countries present here. We commit this event into your able hand. We pray for your presence. We pray for your guidance. We pray, Jehovah God, everything shall flow as you have planned. Take all the glory, for you are God that hears and answers prayer. It is in the name of Jesus Christ I pray with thanksgiving. Welcome.
As we are standing, let's observe the national anthem of the Republic of Kenya. To the introduction part. Kaito Party. Welcome on. To the introduction part. Kaito Party. Welcome on.
A very good morning to all of us. A very, very, very good morning to all of us. Welcome to the Kenya Meteorological Service Authority and by extension, the Institute for Meteorological Training and Research. That is a component of the WMO RTCs across the world. I want us to do something interesting. If you did not greet somebody today morning, greet them now. Greet them. Say hello to your neighbor, and I want you to say hello to a neighbor who you have not said hello to. Tafadhali. We will live here when we have networked. We didn't just come to meet the same people we came with. I know we are sitting like we know each other, but I would want us to rise up, please. Just say hello to the person you have not said hello to today. Tafadhali. If you did not greet anybody, just say hello to them very quickly. Learn their name very quickly. See if they are okay. I know Morage has planned for us tea, but tea is coming. A very good morning to all of us. We may now return to our seats, and thank you very much. I would want the team from Sprout to remain standing. The team from Sprout, kindly remain standing. We want to recognize you. Anybody from Sprout? Oh, it's Masikop. Madam. Sprout is a division of Mercy Corps. So can we have the team of Mercy Corps rising up, tafadhali? Mercy Corps. The guys who have helped us get here today. Watu wa Mercy Corps, naomba msalimi watu kwa hewa. That is the Mercy Corps team. I hope somebody picked a name from somebody. And that is very good to have you guys here. Can we have somebody from ECA Africa? ECA Africa? Anybody from ECA Africa? Oh, wonderful. Hi. How are you? Good to see you. Karibu sana. We have somebody from Agnexus. These ones I met. I know them. Yeah, so Karibu sana Samuel, right? Yes, that is Samuel from Agnexus and his colleague at the back. She's on phone, maybe something important in the office. And then we have CGAIR. Nyinyi mko wengi. CGAIR, turn around so the guys at the back see who you are. Karibuni sana. And then we have Shift AgriHub. Shift AgriHub. Oh, hi, madam. How are you? Karibu sana. And then we have iShamba. iShamba, we have partnered with them so many times. Hi. Karibuni sana. Thank you for the work you've been doing with the Kenya Meteorological Service Authority. We are proud to be associated with you guys. And then we have Eco Metering Africa. Eco Metering. Hi. How are you? It would be good to know what some of these guys do. Some of these names are quite interesting. Sauti East Africa. Sauti East Africa. Hi. Karibu sana, madam. Then we have, of course, Mercy Corps we introduced. And of course, our very own Kenya Meteorological Service Authority and the Institute put together. Naomba musimame nyinyi wote. What the department and the institute put together. That is the representation that we have of our staff. So we are so pleased to have you guys here with us. We are very, very proud to be associated with you. I had not mentioned Tamo. Naomba Tamo tusimame. This one I know is Mr. Mboro. Karibu sana. And then we have the University of Nairobi. I see Professor Pija seated with us in this room. That is the University of Nairobi. Is there anyone we have left out that we have not recognized? Tafadhali. Anybody who has been left out? Oh, you guys get to introduce yourselves.
Hi everyone, my name is Miriam Wathuo. I'm from One Acre Fund.
One Acre Fund.
Yes.
I had mentioned.
Morning everyone, my name is Samuel Njoroge. I'm from the Africa Plan Nutrition Institute.
Africa Plan Nutrition Institute. I hope you are the last one to introduce yourself. You are not mentioned.
Good morning, I'm Kimani Mwangi from Nation Media Group. I'm with my colleague here.
Hi, Boniface Bogita from Daily Nation.
Yes. And at the back there, I have Stacy and who? June. Please stand up. These are our Gen Z attaches who joined us, and they are here to see what we do and why we do it and how we serve the public. So, oh, there's one more. Allah. I'm very sorry we didn't get your, your organization put down. We will.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Winnie Wabere from TVET Authority.
Huyu anafaa kupigiwa makofi ya kweli. Because this is the team that helped us develop this curriculum. We appreciate you, madam, and thank you so much for taking time to be here with us today. Yeah, we forgot to send you guys an information note to say that meteorological department can be very cold. So, but don't worry, I know there's good stuff already planned for you, and there's tea and hot water, and if you need anything, just let us know. So just as we begin, I'd just like to let us know that this is the Institute for Meteorological Training and Research. Where you are seated right now is the hostel area of the Institute. This is where you are seated. The kitchen is on my left, and this is the dining area. We have an auditorium down there. We have a library. We have classes. We have a common room, and the hostels are just right up here. So those of you who are looking to help yourselves, we have on our left as you walk out, as you take a left turn outside, as you're going back to the main door, take a right turn. There are very good washrooms there that you can use if you need to use them. And Murage and Pamela and Kangeve and Christine and Kimonye and Beverly are here to help you if you need anything, if you need assistance within your time here. So that was my time. Mine was just to welcome all of us, make you feel at home. This high table will be welcomed properly by the people who welcome the high table. So, but we are glad to have you all here, and we really, really celebrate the Institute for putting up this wonderful, wonderful activity. It's the first we have ever had in this department, and I've been here for long. So we are so pleased and so proud to be associated with you guys, and also that you took your time to come and visit with us today. So I want to hand over this microphone to my own boss. He will say his name and introduce himself, and now he will take us from this place going forward. Mr. Masika.
Thank you very much, Madam Bat, and thank you everyone who is here. Bat is like she has read my mind. I've been here for the last 29 years, yes. And this has never happened since that time. And for the sponsors, in as much as that we'll have vote of thanks later, I must take this opportunity to say thank you very much to give us this kind of publicity. Let me take this opportunity to welcome Murage, who will take us through this process. Before we came to this meeting, we had a process, and therefore you will have to take us through what we went through. Welcome.
Let's appreciate Peter. Thank you very much. Yeah, allow me, even before I start, is that I request the technical team that has been behind this work to stunt, led by the principal director, IMTL, Mr. Chansu Kaidri. He has been the coordinator. Christine, I thought you are yeah? So this is a team from IMTL. Where is Paul Magero? So this is a team, so, and Mr. CN, thank you very much. So the presentation or whatever you're talking, you can be seated. It's a product which has been co-developed. They want to appreciate the technical and vocational data in Kenya. Do you have representatives from the Kenya National Quality Assurance? Yeah, maybe they are joining us later. So thank you very much, and I'm very much pleased. Those who are here, share the link. Madam Bahati, kindly share the link. We were delayed because we are streaming live. So it's very good. This is a milestone, so thanks a lot. So I'll just take you through, before I go to the curriculum, because of interest of time. And apologies, we had arranged some, we are seeing on the tables, we have some eateries, the spoons at what, but for convenience, I said, we celebrate after we finish it, so we'll make it very brief. So allow me to say that Madam Irene, she'll be coming here from Mercy Corps, from November 2014, be giving them is that the curriculum at IMTR, those who are coming for the first time, Madam Bai talked about it. Institute for Meteorological Training and Research, and from the 27th of March, the Kenyan government made a law, we enacted a law, 27th of March. We are now Kenya Meteorological Services Authority with the Meteorological Training and Research Directorate. So I know my good friend, Mr. Edon Morioki. You know, it's very interesting when I'm seated here, having Mr. Buru, who is the director of IMTR Emeritus. You know, in IMTR we use those terms. We don't say former, we say emeritus because he's a former director here. So, we wrote a proposal. So we are very much pleased. The acting Director General of Kenya Meteorological Services is former principal. He's not emeritus because he has not retired. Yes, from 2023, we made a concerted effort. Our curriculum review is guided by World Meteorological Organization, which I'm very much pleased that we are joined by the team today, but also from the market demands. So the building that we are here, I'm very much pleased. We have the screens there. So what we thought about is that we can be using the three screens there. I'm very much pleased that on 9th of September 1995, I joined this institute right from as a very young man. So I was up to it there. So this is the building, and I want to appreciate. It's the training branch of the Kenya Meteorological Services Authority, responsible for training personnel in meteorology and related geosciences in Kenya and the English-speaking countries. At the moment, I'm very much happy the effort by the WMO. We have international students currently, so from the Somali who are taking a course. I'm also pleased that it was designed as a center of excellence for training satellite meteorology. So, as per WMO, our designation is to provide education and training opportunities for WMO member countries. Like from Cameroon, where we were last year, we had students who are doing instrument maintenance calibration course, supply advice on education and training matters, select methods of learning for member states. Why do we select methods of learning? One, we are having hybrid training. For the satellite courses, you do self-paced course. Then also to ensure our courses of instruction and the other activities are consistent with WMO guidance and learning. What guides our curriculum development, I'll be alluding to what Irene will be coming later with, is that we are guided, our programs, they are guided by WMO manual on implementation of education and training standard in meteorology and hydrology, guide to competency, guideline for trainers in meteorology and compendium for competencies. IMTL, now coming back home, IMTL has the capacity, ability to organize and host specialized courses like what will be launching today, weather climate information, surface training module for the private sector. This is due to our existing infrastructure, manpower, collaboration with other institutions, both local and regionally. Allow me, thank you, Bahati, is that IMTL has two components. It has the institute components here in the great corner where you are, and we have the university component, which is the Department of Meteorology. And we are very much pleased we have Professor Opija, who is the chair of the Department of Meteorology. So where IMTR does not have expertise, we get it from the Kenya Meteorological Services Authority Operations at the University of Nairobi. So the institute, with the support, now allow me to take you now the milestones before we come to that. The institute identified capacity gap within the value chain players, So due to demand for local sector and location-specific climate information, we have identified several players who we need capacity building. And the journey started in 2012, when the Kenya Meteorological Department then decentralized, not devolved, decentralized the services to the counties. So we developed as IMTR a training module to support sub-regional. For the WMO, our two heads, thank you very much. We usually pilot this training with Kenya, we refine, and then we pilot for the other countries. So we are very much pleased that the Kenya Meteorological Services Authority accept that the institute, use the officers as the one who. So we developed a curriculum, downscaling and domesticating climate information services, and we are very much pleased through ICRA, one of the CGR component. They funded. And also, the initial development was supported by SNF through the CRAFT project. That is one for 15 counties, which we defined. Then, climate basic module. Allow me to state that IMTR has identified there is capacity gap within the policymakers. Why are they not investing in climate information services? So these are some of the priorities that now we're looking. Then, I'm very much pleased that last year, we launched in November, we launched the Climate Risk Management in Agricultural Extension together with the CARO, together with all the support of the Minister of Agriculture. Then, a very unique, standalone cost-benefit analysis for climate information. Ask yourself, what is the economic impact of ignoring or utilizing climate information? We started looking at if one rainfall storm in a lobby of 20 millimeters can cause flash flooding, and those are engineers who maybe they are not climate-proof the project. What about a farmer who's planting? So we were able to pilot these ones. So our curriculum, like I said, because I just want to present this one so that I go to the next one very fast, is that the institute conducts regular syllabus review, aimed to ensure they remain relevant. They embrace emerging technological changes and their advancement. Currently, the syllabus have been revised to adopt the competency-based training approach. In addition, the review is guided. So, November last year, because Eileen will be coming here, is that Mercy-Corps, and I want to appreciate Mercy-Corps AgriFin project, Eileen and the Oriental team, that we are aware that numerous barriers have been conducting baseline, but no one has ever validated or verified, carried out through the front door, how is the meteorological services being offered in Kenya. So a baseline, they sought even, I will not say permission, but partnership, and Mercy-Corps did a baseline in 5 counties in Kenya. And after the baseline results were shared, we as IMTR took the opportunity to develop. After the development, there is a process of validating the curriculum. We might develop a curriculum and we say it's very nice. But I want to appreciate the organizations which were with the Machakos, led by our able Madam Skosane. He was our guest during the validation of the module. We had the Kenya National Quality Assurance. I'm very much pleased because we'll be reviewing. We had Tiveta, our good sister there, and Vere. We had the University of Nairobi. We had the Alliance for Biodiversity and the SIAT, who are also looking at the curriculum. So after that, today we are making a milestone to launch the training. So before I move to the next slide, I will request now Madam Eileen, what informed, that is the curriculum, because we all always respond to a request. So Madam Eileen, kindly come and so that you can tell us what was the basis that informed the development of this curriculum. Welcome a lot.
That's a HDMI or a...
All right, all protocols observed. Good morning. My names are Irene Waroe. I am the Senior Climate Officer at Masiko Agrifin. If you listen to Paul, he will tell you a lot more about me, very big things, but I'm a very humble person. So, as he mentioned, one of the outputs that we were supposed to have under our grant, and our grant, my boss Sieka will talk about very shortly, is a baseline study. So we initially conducted some desk research to kind of understand the value chain within weather and climate services. The project is currently for Kenya and Senegal, but for this context, we're going to be talking about Kenya. So we did some initial desk research, and we wanted to validate that by actually going into the field, sampling some farmers, the extension agents, the private sector organizations that we work with, and we also included the Kenya Met Department, County Met officials. So we had a very wholesome sample to inform this baseline study. So I'll just take you through very quickly because, again, this is not my show, this is Murage's show. Just some of the results from this and what we can be able to get or what informs some of our decision making. So our initial approach to the baseline was to show the demand. Sorry, this, I think the Poleni Sana for the, I think it's glitching a lot. And it's also bothering me a little bit. So, okay, so the baseline was to show the demand and the impact of weather information, which showed was high, but there was very weak localization. And by localization, I mean, I am a farmer, for instance, in this section of Uasin Gishu, the weather I get does not necessarily translate to the location that I am in. So we need to be very granular. I know KMD weather forecasts currently are, I think, 5x5. And for other private sector organizations, some of their granularity is up to 3x3 kilometer grid. And then there was obviously the irregular delivery. So farmers say, I receive the weather forecasts, yes, but do I get it on time? And then outside of that, am I able to understand what this weather forecast is telling me? Am I able to act upon it? What am I supposed to do after I receive this? And then we see that these kind of clarity issues and the usage of that were holding back the full potential of WCI for farmers. So one of the findings we found is that weather information is widely known, but is not clearly understood. And I will mention that the way KMD produced the weather forecasts and the way he published them, that they might not be easy to understand. I know I've been a victim of that. I've seen the maps before, and I know that you say, expect 20 millimeters of rainfall, but what exactly does 20 millimeters of rainfall mean? Does that mean it's going to be flooding the way it was last March? Does that mean that I can be able to plant now? How many days of this kind of rainfall do I require to be able to take some kind of action? So yeah, like I mentioned, we sampled the farmers, about 79% of them said that they had received at least one weather forecast in the last 3 years. However, there was a gap where about 25% of them could not identify the source. So who is providing this weather information that you're receiving? They could not say definitively where this source is. Again, we found another 25% will misinterpret the probability forecasts. I know that you have the descriptive and the probabilistic weather forecasts here, which now obviously highlights our communication clarity gap. For farmers who had never received one of these weather forecasts on their phone, they say that they mainly receive them through the public sources. That's about 42% of them. So they show higher trust in KMD weather information. This is not news to you, right? If I get a weather forecast from a private sector provider, for instance, if iShamba sends me a forecast and tells me it's from KMD, they are more likely, the farmers, to believe or to trust that kind of forecast. However, the ones who are using from the private sector providers, they were saying that they access them with higher trust levels, although the understanding appears to be stronger among the non-DWAS users. DWAS is the Digital Weather Advisory Service. Yeah. So, and then again, farmers say they receive the information irregularly and seasonally despite the strong demand for frequent updates. So what we found is that a farmer says, I received the seasonal forecast, for instance, the March, April, May, at the beginning of the season. I do not receive it year-round, where I have decisions to make week on week or month on month, rather than just having it once off at the beginning of the season. So I think that's definitely something that we'll be working towards. Where about 70% of those farmers said that they would like these weather forecasts either on a weekly or a bi-weekly basis, and about 72% requesting for these weather forecasts on a year-round sequence. Then the other finding we found is that localization, timeliness, and accuracy are the dominant pain points of farmers. So if you say it's going to rain where I am, and my farm, for instance, I'll give an example of my husband's farm, which is a bit larger. So it can rain in Uasin Gishu, and the farm cuts across 2 counties. But then in the next ward, it does not rain. So the same farm has 2 different climatic zones. Which is the weather forecast that I trust, right? So that level of granularity is something that they are requesting. Of course, the timeliness. So if you tell me it's going to rain next week, and we are in Tuesday, then that does not help me at this point. I need a forecast that is today, tomorrow, the next day. So that regularity and that timeliness is what they're also requesting. And then obviously the accuracy. So I know that the KMD weather forecasts are very accurate. It's something that we are seeing different with Senegal when we're doing the same baseline, where KMD is a lot more technologically savvy than what we have been seeing with ANASIM on the other end. We also see a problem with, or some strong behavioral adoption with farmers. So about 92% say that they act on these forecasts. If I'm told the season is going to start this week or next week, and they are told with, definitively, then they can be able to act on those forecasts. We also see that the gender parity. So with women, they tend to apply the WCI to practice faster than men. That is a whole behavioral thing. Madam Dr. Pam here is going to talk more about that. And then we also see that weather and climate information already drives the measurable agronomic and economic benefits, with about 74% of the farmers sampled saying that they reported yield increases after adopting WCI, 67% quoting that they had reduced crop loss, and 31% say that they have better input use and clear evidence of economic return from the improved WCS. Overall, women and elderly farmers understandably face access and comprehension gaps. And this is where we see, that one-on-one touch with extension workers with the private sector that helps them get to the next mile. We also see something around willingness to pay, and I know as KMSA is thinking through, being less dependent on the exchequer. We have some data around that, with about 31% of these farmers saying that they would directly be willing to pay for this weather information. However, this jumps to 52% under conditions where, accuracy is addressed, seasonal payments are offered, or bundling services. Again, this is where the private sector comes in handy. If you combine weather and climate information services with your existing products, so I'll give an example of Acre Africa that does insurance for farmers. If you're able to bundle weather information, charge that under your insurance premium, then there's going to be higher adoption of the WCS. So we see that the KMSA and the different private sector organizations are each bringing different strengths to the table. For the pilot under this grant, which is advancing PPPs for weather and climate services, we chose 4 different use cases. So one is mechanization with Hello Tractor. So all of them are utilizing or taking this weather and climate information services for their different use cases to reach their farmers. Hello Tractor does weather information services, but for mechanization. So they're able to predict demand for their tractors when, where are these tractors required, ahead of the planting season and during the harvest. We have Koamana. Koamana does market linkages for these farmers. So when do you take your produce to the market? What is the price at the market right now? Is it raining on your road to the market? So those are the kind of information that they take to advise their farmers on when to take the produce to the market. Agribora and Apollo Agriculture, they're input credit. So when do you plant? This is the kind of variety you should be planting within these counties that you operate in. The weather is going to look like this and that so that you're able to improve your productivity and your yield. And then finally, for the baseline survey, one of our conclusions is that a tailored PPP model is what is essential for scaling. So if you see the map, how are you able to take that information? How does that inform your business decisions? And then finally, how does that help you downscale that forecast better to your farmers to improve their productivity and their yield? So thank you so much. This has been a long time coming. It has been a labor of love. Mr. Murage knows we have been at this for about 7 months. So I look forward to seeing how we communicate this further, how we train these private sector actors. I know you're already identifying gaps for policymakers, for the media, and so on. So we will definitely be working together for that. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Irene. Yeah, she's promising to share the baseline results with other partners. So after IMTL received this baseline, we thought that with the agreement with the Mastercorps Agrifin, we are now proud to present Weather and Climate Service for Private Sector Stakeholder Training module, which main aim is advancing public-private engagement climate services for Nigeria. Allow me for 1 minute, live if you are those who can see the slides, is that if we in this room and all our friends, we all agree that climate information is a valuable resource for decision making. But the weather forecast is probabilistic. There is a lot of uncertainty. And most of the things that National Met Services, not just confined to Kenya, we use technical terminology. So there is a level of uncertainty. But we are also aware that climate information is useful when different knowledge sources are combined. And the Meteorological Act 2023 identified indigenous traditional knowledge as one because the communities had their coping mechanism. So effective communication is essential in making climate information. This is where now we are looking. The private sector, Hello Tractor, Core Amana, Apollo, Agritech, for you to utilize our information, you have to understand it. For we want to make you the primary intermediaries of the Kenya Meteorological Services. The Kenya Meteorological Services, like any national Met services and our World Met organization, is provide timely early warning weather and climate information for safety of life. It is evident that climate change is real and taking place in the country and in South Africa. Thus, ignoring it will erode economic gains. For the private sector, Kenya economy is highly sensitive to climate risk. We had back-to-back 2 seasons, 2023 and 2024, March, April, May, where the country lost billions of shillings from climate extreme. And we are seeing a very unfortunate incident that any time we have a downpour of 20 millimeters of rainfall, some roads are closed, and it has the impact on transportation of our produce. So we are also looking at other value chain players, including the regulators, who can be able to, aware that there is increased investment in climate data collection. Irene is very interesting. Our DG Edward, when he was on air this season, he talked about, and you got the feedback, 95% accuracy of our forecast. But how comes we are not seeing the results? People are still incurring losses. So one of the few things we are saying, how come we have that confidence in ours? So as IMTR, we have noted that it's a gap on how you are tracing our information, and that we have developed this module. On one hand, the National Met Service lack capacity to customize data for commercial use. And on the other hand, the private sector lack technical skills to interpret the forecast. So that's why we are bringing both of you together, including not that the technical people. There is the gender aspect, Irene, you talked about. Women are the ones who do bulk of the farming in Kenya. And even in marketing, they are the ones who are in the markets. Are they accessing climate information? Last year, with the Alliance for Biodiversity at the SEAT, we carried out co-production workshop in 4 counties. In central Kenya, where women are perceived to have a lot of independence, they access climate information, but they cannot make a decision because the husband or the spouse is the one who will make that decision. So there is the issue of accessing and utilizing. So therefore, the demand for climate and weather information has sector and location specific has increased. Access to weather information has been a challenge in developing countries. But where Kenya and the other countries, the rapid growth of mobile phones and the radio coverage in Kenya has opened. Last week we were with, thank you, Dr. Kevin Chikuku, we were with Mr. Bernard Chansu. And we saw so many players who are offering climate information to the stakeholders. It was unfortunate allowed me to use this one. That nearly 8 of them is only one getting the weather forecast from the Kenya Meteorological Services Authority. So the issue of access. Therefore, it's now my pleasure that the training modules that we have developed will encompass 2 modules, the training curriculum. 1, fundamentals of climate science and the climate information. Before you look at the business aspect, we have the fundamentals of climate science with a background that the UNECA report for private sector engagement, CIS, emphasized that African governments alone cannot meet the demand for tailored climate information. And it called for a robust public-private partnership and capacity building to bridge this gap. By embedding CIS literacy and the application in the private enterprises, Kenya can enhance, and the other can enhance its competitiveness, improve climate risk management, and promote innovation. So we'll be building the capacity, say that, and also the engagement through maybe API is the Kenya Meteorological Services and other meteorological services to look how can they engage with the private sector and also develop business models. So we will, as IMTR, the technical team, and where we don't have capacity, I said we have the Kenya Meteorological Services Authority at the University of Nairobi. We will train the private sector on, first of all, the basic concept. And then we look at the business application of climate information. We'll be borrowing heavily on a curriculum that was launched last year, cost-benefit analysis for climate information services, which was supported by International Food Policy Research Institute, where we look at how, first of all, the data and observation. Aware that a lot of investment has been done on data, and even IMTR has developed climate data tool because processing of climate information has always been a challenge, so we are developing all those platforms. But we are aware the strength of the private sector, the user platform. When you build your services, when you are giving agro input data, can we be able to support climate information? My last is that this curriculum is founded on the pillars of the global framework for climate services. United Nations calls by early warning system by 2027. We don't want anyone to be left behind. So the curriculum, as I conclude, the first pillar on data and observations, we propose as IMDR and the Kenya Meteorological Services Authority, as adaptation for the private sector, you develop private data sharing protocols and the repositories. Secondly, the second pillar on GFS, Climate Service Information System, we are proposing creation of a business forecast digital platform for forecast translation. 3, research and modeling. As the mandate of the Meteorological Training and Research Directorate, collaborate with the universities and ICT firms for localized downscaling tools, thus encouraging innovation. 4th, for the user platform and last mile, facilitate co-design workshops with sector stakeholders. And lastly, on capacity development, IMTR promised to deliver modular training, certification, and mentorship programs. It's now my great honor to invite Peter Masika, our State Director in charge of International Relations, to take now to the ceremony. And thanks a lot on behalf of the team. We appreciate a lot.
Let us appreciate Bwana Morage and the Mercy Corps, that is Irene. Indeed, there has been several attempts to conduct surveys to know how climate information is used for the last 5 years thereabout. but I had an opportunity to look at your report. It's quite in detail. I wish you can share with this team your report. It's quite interesting, especially to the meteorology fraternity. They will be interested to understand how our services are absorbed by the private sectors and the private sectors who are here. Please ensure that you get that report from Irene, as well as what Mr. Muragas indicated. The two models that we are launching today, they are also very interesting, very short, but I think a lot will be said at the appropriate time. Allow me now to shift the gears to go to the high table to have some remarks based on what has been presented or protocols observed. Chief guest, welcome to this session where we will have some remarks. We have not been invited by or welcomed by the chief of this institution, and I request that the director, Institute for Meteorological Training and Research, which is also a component of World Meteorological Organization and Regional Training Center, to come and make his remarks. Welcome, Mr. Chancellor.
Still, I can't hide my happiness. I think it's great. It's quite great to see all of you here. And I think even before I make my remarks, I just want to really say thank you for the presenters who have been here. Especially, you saw how Paul talks with the passion. And I think, and when you see them talk about what we have and what we don't have for in this institution, it is now a policy under me that anybody employed by this institute, wherever he goes out or where he stands to talk, he should talk as a politician. Not for other things, but for marketing of this institution. Because we embarked on a very vigorous, ambitious journey of reviving and making this institution reclaim its glory and rise and perform its mandate as it was set up. So allow me now to welcome you. First of all, I take this opportunity to recognize our guest of honor, chief guest, Dr. Isham Ibada, Director, WMO Regional Coordination Office. I think he will be standing, you will see him. I can't forget, he's accompanied by Madam Hopsila. Sometimes I get problem pronouncing that name, but I always just go to Sikosane, which sounds like a name from where I come from. Yeah. Although her body is small, it's not like people from where I come from. Then, I do also recognize the PR for Kenya with WMO, Edward Murioki, who will also be making his remark. He's also doubling as also the acting AG for the authority. I take also opportunity to recognize the program director, Masikop. The first name confuses me, but allow me to use the second, Katabaki. You know, some of these names you can pronounce and then it means quite a very different thing, which is like an accusation, immoral thing. So sometimes if you can't, avoid. Yeah. I think with all protocols observed, we have, there are quite a number of organizations. I won't go through the list because it has, somebody has gone through it. But for now, what I can do is, but without forgetting, I can't forget mentioning TAMO. TAMO have been a very worthy partners, led by David Mburu. David Mburu, can you just stand so that, because you will not be, I've not seen your name on the list of the speakers, so they may not see you. Mburu is a former staff of this institution and a former leader of the institute. And to add on it, is also a friend of mine, was my friend, is still my friend. And I'm happy to work with him even after he has retired. Thank you, Mburu. So, with all protocols observed, all the dignitaries, good morning, everybody. Respected guests, dedicated partners, and most importantly, our brave, ambitious IMT trainers. Can you stand up? Can we clap for them, please? Get seated. A very warm welcome to you all. It is my absolute pleasure to stand here today on behalf of the Directorate of Meteorological Training and Research, which is formerly known as IMTR, to celebrate a milestone in our shared journey towards improving the utilization of climate information decision-making in our society. This is an ambitious endeavor that seeks to prove case that indeed private sector can play a key role in pushing climate agenda by advancing public-private engagement in climate services for small-scale producers. Today we are taking a major step forward in bridging the gap between current science and action. It is our belief as an institution that long are gone days where we used to have research work on shelves, scientific findings on shelves, data on shelves. Now we are transforming, we are trying to build the capacity to transform those documents into actions on the ground. That is actually our business. So that's why we are here to launch this document. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join this launch of curriculum. It is my distinct honor and profound privilege to recognize our esteemed chief guest for today, Dr. Isham Ibada, Director, World Meteorological Regional Coordination Office. I really was humbled when you accepted to reschedule your travel arrangement just to grace this event. For your information, our chief guest made this decision just yesterday. I was talking to him, we were having a discussion together, and when he learned about it, and he was so passionate with it, and he said, no, can I join you? Initially, the chief guest was the Eastern and Southern representative, WMO representative. Then also want to thank you for accepting to step down for your boss to come in. Not very many people will accept that, you know, especially in this in this world of this, the African world, yeah? When you are the one, you are the one. Yeah, tafuta wakati wake, for those ones who understand Kiswahili. So, sir, your presence here today adds immense value and dignity to this momentous occasion. We are truly honored that you accepted our invitation to the launch of this forward-thinking curriculum as you embark on strengthening regional WMO centers. By the way, in our discussion, I fixed that in our discussion, it has been found that regional training centers in Africa have been going down. So I'm proud to say, to reveal that our chief guest and Madam Sikosana, who is the representative Eastern and Southern Africa, they have actually embarked on a journey of improving and reviving all the regional training centers, not just training centers, but other regional centers for WMO. So I do congratulate you for that. And I think what we are doing here is just proving that we are going to walk the journey together. I will not let you down. Yeah, Thank you for accepting to be part of the visionaries who would want to see IMTR reclaim its regional glory. I said that. You are part of that team. Ladies and gentlemen, just to remind you, or to remind our guests who we are, Murage had told you who we are, but then as the head of the institute, I should, by voice, probably take courage to tell you who we are. This is Directorate for Meteorological Training and Research, formerly known as IMTR. It's a branch of Kenya Meteorological Service Authority under the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry. The directorate is also a World Meteorological Organization regional training center responsible for training personnel in meteorology and related geosciences in Kenya and English-speaking countries. Actually, in Africa, we are 8 institutions. We have quite a number globally, but I can tell you at one point, WMO research put this institution at number 3. We were number 3 in the whole world at one point. I don't know which number we are now, but now you have heard? They want me where? And I'm saying, this is a journey we have started embarking on, and we have embarked on with your support. Not number 3, we want to be number 1. And I think with the support from all you partners, I know all of you will want to see this institute ride high. So thank you very much for that courageous confirmation that WMO will stand along with us to make this institution reclaim what I call lost glory, which is coming sooner than. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to launch a curriculum on weather and climate information services for private sector stakeholders in Kenya, a program designed specifically as a transformative initiative that downscales, contextualizes, and mainstreams CIS to Kenya's private sector through tailored training. As I said during the validation workshop, we are gathered here not merely to launch a new set of documents, but to ignite a transformation. We know that taking this step requires courage, sacrifice, and desire to grow. I'm happy to report to you that this institute has demonstrated to have all those characteristics that we are courageous enough to move this agenda forward. That is a promise I give to you. Ladies and gentlemen, what makes this new curriculum special? It is a learner-centered, practical, and tailored to fast-changing world we live in now. We have focused on equipping private sector, both professionals and non-professionals, with foundational climate science, literacy, and practical skills to apply climate information in their business context. It is developed under a MASICOP AgriFin project, advancing public-private engagement in climate sciences for small-scale producers. As the baseline was being presented, and of course everybody was saying he has not seen that, it's true. This idea of linking climate services by national met producers with the private sector has been non-existent. And I think I want to thank MASICOP for that bold idea, coming up with this initiative, which is going to really open the space. Because there are two things, like trying to make climate information services accepted and be taken mainstreamed by private sector. And I think that is one of the agenda of WMO, is encouraging that Met services work with the private in partnership to advance climate information services across the whole world. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, an event of this magnitude is made possible only through the generous support of our partners and our guests who have sacrificed their precious time to attend and participate. I would like to extend our deepest gratitude to our sponsors, MASICOP. Can we clap for them, please? I also would like to salute the WMO representative for Eastern and Southern Africa, Madam Sikosane, for working with us on this journey. For your information, the lady has been with us, he has worked with us, and I should inform you and announce to you that she's actually the one who officiated over the validation of this curriculum. Yeah. May our time together, I just have to say, may our time together be a source of inspiration, renewal, and a deep connection. Thank you for being here with us today. A huge thank you to curriculum design team, the people who took part in the design, our facilitators, our partners who worked tireless to bring this vision to life. Your dedication to quality of life and prosperous IMTR is what makes this moment possible. Feel at home. And once more, I want to welcome you to this institution. Feel free, but before you leave, as I said, we agreed as an institution we will be politicians. Before you leave, find out what IMTR can offer. Just to tell you, we have accommodation with us. We have conference facilities. We have open grounds for open events. And we have so much that if you take your time even after this, walk around, get hold of, especially those ones in blues, they will tell you what we have, because our agenda is to move this institution to the next level. So thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Let's appreciate him once more. People who can assist all these institutions. Allow me now to call Program Director Sieka Gatambaki of Mercy Corps to make his remarks. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. For those who've heard me speak, I don't stand behind podiums. I think it creates a tension. Yeah, there's a space between us. So allow me to stand here and speak from this position. And I will also rest on previous protocols. So distinguished guests, I accept previous protocols. And thank you for having us here. It has indeed been a great journey to actually work with such a distinguished institute. I know you're saying you're coming back, but nothing can come back from the fact that weather is one of the most critical things in agriculture. In fact, it is the thing that really makes agriculture work. I'm here to talk about a little bit about Mercy Corps, and you can see our mission there, which is really about how we can bring together digital technology to improve the lives of smallholder farmers. For the last 11 years or so, actually 13 years, we have been, as an international NGO across the world, figuring out what it takes to shift lives of people in the hardest to reach parts of different countries, be it humanitarian work, be it development work. At the AgriFin program, we had a specific mandate to look at how digital innovation can impact those lives positively. The word interconnected is a special thing to us, because as we take our approach, we look at it from a market systems development perspective. And in a market system development perspective, we, as the catalyst in the market, are really quiet people. We're not really in the foreground. We're kind of like salt in food, yeah, where we add the flavor to allow people to enjoy the calories, the nutrients that you're getting from the food. So we don't generally come as standing out, but we bring forward the organizations and institutions that are expected to bring about the change in the societies that we work with. Initially, we had a very strong focus on private sector. We really worked with startups, private sector companies to build an ecosystem of actors that can truly bring change in the agricultural sector. But we had forgotten one of the most important actors in a system, which is the public sector, governments, institutions such as yours, and the role they play on a day-to-day basis to provide digital public goods, to provide digital public infrastructure. And so I am so glad that this relationship is part of the beginning of a new space that Mercy Corps AgriFin will be looking at to reach more than millions of farmers across the continent. Currently, we are touching about 17 million farmers' lives across multiple countries in Africa. We're working with over 250 private sector actors, and we are glad to include the public sector as one of the other actors that we're willing to support in this journey towards improving the lives of those who struggle to make a living on a day-to-day basis. We truly believe that digital holds benefits for smallholder farmers. And let me digress a bit. When I started my career in the digital space over 20 years ago, I worked with a phenomena that would become one of the world's, actually the best in the world phenomena in the digital space, and that was mobile money. I was one of the few people who launched and rolled out mobile money, not for the green giant, but for the competitor. Yeah? And we worked to really understand what it takes to move financial inclusion across the world. Yeah? And we built a solution that touched the lives of so many people. Not only touched the lives of so many people, but increased profitability of an organization hundreds-fold. Yeah? And right now, with any telco in the world, especially in Africa, a critical component of that telco is their mobile money services. I did that for about 10 years, and we changed the lives of so many people. I came into this space to look for the same concept, to look at how do we then leverage digital and build solutions that truly help smallholder farmers. And one of the spaces that we can really look at is climate. How do we get climate information services to smallholder farmers? How do we get that surety? We call it precision agriculture. How do we help the smallholder farmer really believe and have faith that their harvests, their investments in inputs will yield returns that can sustain their families and lead to food security in the countries that we work in. So I'm really glad about this initiative. We're not only just pushing the frontiers of climate information, but we're educating the next level of technologies that will be supporting smallholder farmers in their endeavor. I love the fact that it goes beyond just training the small the entrepreneurs, but you're also looking at the policymakers. So that's the next step, looking at those who actually create the rules around how you engage with climate information and how to ensure that it is pervasive in the countries that we work in. I will encourage the team not only to look at policy, but perhaps another future module will be to look at the issue of mental health and the impact that climate change is having on mental health. Just last week, I was in a board retreat, and we had a speaker, a young man from Kajiado County. He was telling us how he has now currently about 200 herds of cattle. But the challenge is that they're emaciated, and they've dwindled from a herd of about 500 cattle. Many of his colleagues have committed suicide because they cannot find feed. The way they used to be able to manage and handle their cattle is changing. So mental issues are impacting a lot of the communities we serve. And even though we are looking at digital for the prosperity of smallholder farmers, we're also concerned about the other aspects of their resilience. And mental health plays a big role. So if you can incorporate that in future modules, would be glad to see how we can possibly support or crowd in donors that are focused on that specific area. Minor, just to share those few comments, thank you very much, and we're looking forward to a fruitful collaboration. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sieka. Chief guest, since you are from the Met fraternity, I must reveal to Mercy Corps that from where I sit, the time you started engaging KMD, or rather the time we started engaging one another, it was very tricky. Reason being, everyone who was approaching KMD then was always talking about assisting smallholder farmers. And in the process of that, we were getting people who were ready to do other things, not like the way KMD was wishing to do. And therefore, I'm very sure perhaps your boss or your predecessors had several meetings with the KMD management to see on ways on how we are going to engage one another. Because of the skepticism, it took long. But fortunately, at the end of the day, we found a common ground, we had MOUs and all that. Not only you, but others also. But in the midst, we learned a lesson, because we had organizations who, even up to today, are claiming and claim that they are working with us, but we don't see them anywhere. Perhaps, I believe that those organizations are also not working with an organization that we are working with. Thank you very much, because we know very well that you mean well for the smallholder farmers. And as you have rightly put it, Kenya Meteorological Service, through provision of its climate information service, through your digital approach, we are going to assist these farmers together with other organizations. Thank you very much for your kind words. Allow me to now call the permanent representative of Kenya with the World Meteorological Organization. For your information, private sectors who are here or stakeholders, meteorological services in the world are headed by a title. But then beyond there, since they are affiliated to World Meteorological Organizations, the National Met Services, the head of National Met Service are also permanent representatives of their respective countries to World Meteorological Organization. Allow me now to call Mr. Edward, who will also invite the chief guest to make his remarks. Welcome.
Thank you, Masika, for the introduction. Good afternoon. No, it's still morning. We are awake. Thanks. I'm now not sure where to stand after Gatabaki has indicated that there is a space in between. But try to imagine that this lectern is not there, okay? So that we are able to communicate, because I don't want to hold my notes. But allow me to start by recognizing Sieka Gatabaki, Program Director, Mercycorps, Isham Abada, WMO Regional Director, Chanzu, Director and Principal IMTR, representatives from government ministries, departments, agencies, development partners, representatives from the private sector, academia and research institutions. I saw Professor Opija, karibu sana. Members of the Fourth Estate, Kimani Mwangi, are you still with? Yes. Kimani Mwangi has been doing an excellent work. Let's appreciate. He's been giving us lots and lots of coverage and very positive reporting, and this is what we appreciate. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is said that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. And I'm glad that this journey that began in the year 2025 has come to a fruitful end with the launch of this curriculum. I wish to take this opportunity to congratulate IMTR I have been a trainer for years. Actually, most of my working life has been at the institute. And when the principal, my colleague Bernard, said, let the trainer stand, I was tempted to stand. In as much as I was sitting, at heart I was standing because I identify a lot with the institute. This initiative represents a very important milestone in strengthening the integration of climate information into national development planning, enterprise resilience, and sustainable growth. I'm glad that climate and weather information is being taken very, very seriously. Even at policy level, we are always being invited and being engaged to present the weather perspective. I am glad that also our focus, as Murage has correctly said, are becoming very accurate and reliable. And this collaboration goes a long way in ensuring that the information that we package gets to the intended user. Collaboration and partnerships between our institutions recognizes that weather and climate information are no longer a peripheral scientific function. It is a strategic national asset supporting policy information, investment planning, disaster risk reduction, and social economic transformation. Increasingly, frequent extreme weather events exacerbated by climate change and variability are undermining development gains and exposing businesses and communities to heightened levels of vulnerability and uncertainty. You saw what happened recently when there was flooding in the month of March in Nairobi. That was unprecedented. When you look at those clips, it looked like a horror movie. It wasn't good at all. And this is something that the planners are taking very, very seriously to see what we need to change. So, because we gave the warnings, but what happened what really happened that we ended up where we are? Is it planning? What is it? I think this conversation is ongoing. This reality is called for stronger institutional frameworks, enhanced climate literacy, and improved access to timely, reliable, and actionable weather and climate information. And I'm glad that this curriculum will actually contribute towards increased climate literacy. The government of Kenya, through the department or the authority, remains committed to strengthening climate services as a key component of national resilience building and sustainable development. Distinguished guests, the private sector plays a very critical role in national development, innovation, employment creation, and investment. Access to credible climate information and the capacity to interpret and apply such information in operation and strategic decision-making is therefore very, very necessary. The National Framework for Climate Services recognizes that on our own we cannot do it. That's why we seek to identify partnerships, strengthen collaboration, so that together we are able to carry this message, and together we build more resilience. And that's why I am glad that the private sector is coming in very, very, very strongly. I appreciate the role played by Masiko and all the other players in ensuring that this partnership is effective. Also, if you look at the National Framework for Climate Services, you realize that capacity building sits at the center of it all. You build capacity along all the pillars. And I'm glad that this is what this curriculum seeks to do. Again, if you look at the disaster risk formula, risk exposure is proportional to hazard times vulnerability divided by the capacity. So anything you do you can reduce vulnerability by building the capacity, by building, improving on climate information services, or also creating more awareness. So even this curriculum will also play a critical role. I noticed that the curriculum we are launching today responds directly to some of these needs. Number one, it recognizes that climate information only becomes meaningful when translated into practical action. Actually, the reason why we give our focus differently nowadays is so that you are able to make a decision. You are able to make practical decisions out of the focus. And that's why we move from very general focus to very actionable focus that are location specific. It also supports preparedness, resilience, and adaptive capacity. The curriculum is also designed to strengthen the interface between meteorological science, policy implementation, and private sector application, where this now comes in. It will enhance understanding and utilization of weather and climate products. It will also support risk management. It will strengthen early warning systems and promote climate-smart investments. And I think that is what we would all desire, to promote climate-smart investments and business continuity and planning. It will also advance the the policy objective of mainstreaming climate information services into socio-economic planning and institutional decision-making. As climate risks continue to evolve, capacity development must also evolve. And I think this is what has informed this curriculum, because the climate needs or climate information needs are also evolving. Building resilience is not a one-time intervention. No, it is a continuous and collaborative process that requires investment in knowledge, innovation, technologies transfer, and institutional partnerships. And I'm glad that there are several partners that are willing to walk this journey with us today. The need to adapt and build resilience of small and medium enterprises, agribusinesses, financial institutions, transport operators, and emerging economic sectors that are highly exposed to climate variability should be ably met through this curriculum. I therefore encourage all institutions that are represented here to support the implementation, uptake, and institutionalization of this curriculum within their programs, training frameworks, and operational systems. As I conclude, I wish to reaffirm the department's commitment to continue supporting policies, partnerships, and capacity building initiatives that enhance production, accessibility, and utilization of climate information for sustainable development. I look forward to continued collaboration as we work together towards a climate-resilient economy and society. Thank you so much. My other task was to invite the chief guest, but I wish to do it a bit differently. I wish to invite Lobsile Sikosana to just make very brief remarks and then invite the director. Karibu Lobsile.
Thank you, Pierre. I know the Pierre will want to hear me say something, even if there is nothing for me to say. I'm very excited, Pierre and participants, to be here today. It's a journey that for me, it's not just for Kenya, as you all see it and look at it. For me, it's a regional journey. It's a global journey. And I want to see more of this from IMTR. And allow me now to invite my Director Regional Coordination Office, Isham Abeda, who used to be my colleague and used to be my PR like 2 months ago. And now he's my director. Director, you have the floor.
Habari, good morning. I want to say all protocol observed, but I think I have to mention a few people. First of all, let me mention the permanent representative of Kenya with the WMO, Edward Muriuki. Then I'd also like to acknowledge the program director, Mr. Katabaki, and then also Ms. Irene Warui. I hope I've pronounced it correctly. And then also the director, the Kenya director for TAMO, Dr. Mburu. Then also the director and principal of the Institute of Meteorological Training and Research, IMTR, and the principal of the WMO Regional Training Center. Then my colleague Tlopsile Sikosana, who's the WMO representative for Eastern and Southern Africa, and who's built this relationship with KMSA. I think very importantly, the development partners that are here today, most of them have been acknowledged, so I won't go through the list, but thank you for being here today. Then also the KMSA and IMTR staff, who's been very good to me, ladies and gentlemen from the media and our public at large, and also those of you that are live streaming this event today. I wish you a very good morning. Before I start, on your agendas, I'm referred to as Dr. Isham Abada. Let me just say thank you very much to KSMA and the Kenyan people for the honorary doctorate. I am, in fact, just Isham Abada. But it's my absolute pleasure to be here and to be afforded this opportunity to grace the launch of the two important modules for the Institute of Meteorological Training and Research, which incidentally also doubles as the WMO Regional Training Center for Nairobi. As one of our regional centers of excellence, I might add, the other thing that we also have to remember is that the private sector is highly impacted by extreme weather events. And for them, and you'll know most people in private sector, financial loss is a big thing. And therefore, there is also an imperative to mitigate these impacts and to make sure that these losses are reduced. The other thing about why the private sector is also important is that it's a significant source of financial support and also investment in climate action. And it helps to contribute to financing the gap that exists in some of the climate actions that we see. I think also, and importantly, the private sector is a very significant source of technical knowledge and also innovation, which is essential for developing and implementing climate-friendly technologies. So I think it's therefore in the interest of the WMO as well as the meteorological services to ensure that the private sector is not just engaged, but is also capacitated to contribute to sustainable development goals by leveraging their dynamic expertise and flexible working modalities to contribute to a resilient future. This curriculum that was being talked about this morning and is being launched comes at a very important time. The WMO has launched what it calls the Guidelines for Public-Private Engagement. And these PPE guidelines essentially encompass interaction and collaboration between the public, private, and business sectors. It includes academia and civil society, and it helps in the production and delivery of weather, climate, hydrological, marine, and related environmental data and information and services to the users worldwide. The guideline that I'm referring to aims to address societal risk related to extreme weather, climate, water, and other environmental events through interdisciplinary and multi-sectoral partnerships. And also in line with these guidelines, the Geneva Declaration of 2019 and the Open Consultative Platform serve as key manifestations of the WMO strategy to engage the whole community in the concerted response to global environmental risks. And it's yet another demonstration of the WMO's commitment to a people-first approach to public-private engagement and promoting partnerships that support local to global decisions related specifically to saving lives and property, and also supporting economic productivity by providing essential meteorological, climatological, hydrological, and environmental information. Today, I'm very excited to witness a real-life demonstration of the implementation of these guidelines for the public-private engagement. And on behalf of the WMO, I would like to sincerely appreciate Kenya, the Kenya Meteorological Services Authority, and IMTR for leading the way in this regard. This leadership is a commitment that will go a long way in cementing Kenya's regional role as a WMO designated training center. To the private sector that are present today, we appreciate the recognition and confidence you're extending to the Regional Training Center. To the University of Nairobi representatives and other academic institutions, the collaboration and cooperation with our Regional Training Center is very much appreciated as well. To other government institutions like the Kenya National Qualifications Authority that have supported IMTR in the development of this curriculum, we sincerely appreciate the support in ensuring that IMTR effectively serves the population of Kenya and the neighboring countries. To Mercy Corps and the AgriFin program specifically, WMO appreciates the financial support that's been extended to our regional training center. And we also hope that other training centers in the region can eventually benefit from such support. I think it would provide an opportunity for these RTCs, as they're better known, to share their experience, learn from each other, and also, importantly, develop this curriculum further. To the KMSA, I've been very fortunate to spend some time with them yesterday and a little more time today with members of the institution. And I understand better now the important role that they play. And I must mention this internationally, regionally, and very much nationally as well. And they make a tremendous contribution. Yes, they do have some concerns and constraints, but their contribution, I think, is invaluable in the different sectors of the economy. I mean, you just have to think about agriculture as an example, the health sector, the aviation sector, water resources sector, the commercial sector, education, and other critical sectors that impact the Kenyan people. So I'd just like to acknowledge their invaluable contribution. As I mentioned, however, I also see and understand that there are significant gaps and constraints that the institution is facing. And this, in a way, hinders some of the delivery on its national and regional mandate. But that's why I think also part of my plea is that the Kenyan Meteorological Services Authority be supported for the excellent, in continuing its excellent work. It therefore pleases me to note that through initiatives like updating the RTC's curriculum, some of these gaps are being addressed in a way that empowers them and others also to fill this gap. And I think this, for me, is another demonstration of the power of collaboration and making sure that we can provide these climate services and making them useful, as some of the other speakers before me have indicated. So I think I'm going to stop talking now. Before I finally wish IMTR, KMSA, and also the government of Kenya all the best in the rollout and the implementation of this curriculum. And I hereby declare it officially launched. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's appreciate him once more. Thank you very much, Director. I think now I hand over to Murage now for the official launch. It has been officially launched, but let me give him the chance now to protocol take people there, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guest of honor. Allow me to see that there is a ceremony, and we are happily requesting the high table, the technical team to join. DJ, some music, please. Yes, the technical team, the guest of honor. Yes, the question. Yeah. I'll. Yes. You are cutting the tape.
So where is Tikosana?
Madam Tikosana.
Is he what? Yes, you must stand here.
Yeah. Count. So countdown to the launch of the IMTR WCIS training module. At the countdown of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
Beautiful.
A photo there. Can we have a photo there with you? Okay. Yeah.
To organize the photos.
Yeah. Organize it. Oh, yeah.
Hello. Could we reduce the music a little bit? Thank you, just for 2 seconds. Yeah. I want us to do these photographs in a way that everybody is in the photograph in their turn. So can we start with the chief guest and Madam Sikosana and our PR and the director, and I don't know whether to call you Dr. Katabaki. Yeah. So I'd want us to stand in such a way that we can see the dummy rotating, and then please, all eyes on the camera. All eyes on the camera as the book is rotating. Please, and let us smile, because this is a wonderful day for all of us. It's the first time ever at the Kenya Meteorological Service Authority and the Kenya Meteorological Department. A round of applause for our guests. So could we have the technical team join them? I don't know how we're going to do this. You come mtatoshare, but let's see how watatoshare. Kindly let us keep rotating the dummy book. Tafadhali, let us keep rotating the dummy book. Yeah, let it rotate until we finish. Is everybody being seen? Can we see everyone? I'm sorry. Can we see everybody? Kindly let us smile. Smile for the camera. Mulifanya kazi mingi. Congratulations. Congratulations to all of you. So I would want to have our guests kindly sit and have the technical team take the photograph next to their work. So smile for the camera, tafadhali. Remember, the book needs to be seen. All eyes on the cameras. There are many. Smile, smile. The last one. Mercy Cops, where are you? Mercy Cops, ala? Mumekaa tu? Na kitabu mulifanya kazi. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Well done. Congratulations. Where's your team? Where's everybody? Where's Michelle, Elizabeth? They don't want picture? You guys did so much work. Yeah, Murage, please join them. You are part of Mercy Corps. And your director also can join us, if that's okay. Yes, we all did the work. We all did the work. It's you, Mr. Gatabaki and Mr. Chance, who helped us do the work. You gave us authority to go for meetings and all that. Yeah, so smile for the camera. Smile for the camera. Very well done. A round of applause for Mercy Corps. Tiveta, mko wapi? Mulitengeneza kitabu, ala? Mumekaa tu? Come, please, and take this photograph. And then I think KNQA, is KNQA here with us? Please join. Yeah, yes. KNQA, are you? Anybody from the Kenya National Qualifications Authority? Anybody? All right. Can we then have the University of Nairobi and every single person who was in the validation workshop in Machakos, tafadhali? If it was not for you, we would not be here today. University of Nairobi and every single person who was in the validation workshop in Machakos, tafadhali. Maska, I hear you are in Machakos. Maska, please join the... Yes, so every single person who was at the validation workshop in Machakos. All right, smile for the camera, guys. Well done. Clap for yourselves. Nani kama nyinyi. Oh, hi, Susan, even you were there. Yes, congratulations to all of us. Now, I want to make a kind request. Morage, did we get the dummy books ready? Are the books ready? Do we have some spiral-bound copies? Okay, so we need the high table. Kindly, oh, Mr. Muruki has left, unfortunately. But we can still take, I want us to take a picture with the books, tafadhali. Yes. Tafadhali, we need the books with on the high table. Madam, Muruki has left. We need a representative of Mr. Muruki, but Chanzu can be the representative of Mr. Masika. How many copies do we have, Pam? Do you have more? So we will do this one photograph, and then if there are any other copies and anybody else would want to join this group, kindly hold the book up straight, smile for the camera. This is the work of your hands, and we are very proud. Kidogo tu. And then you can give the vote of thanks.
I'll keep it.
All right, smile, smile. 1, 2, 3, the last shot. All right, you are done. Thank you very much.
All right. It's a few minutes to afternoon, and it's not very easy to talk when there has been so much. Because of that, I'm looking at the list here. We have got directors from WMO. We have got directors here. And we have got everybody. We have got Eka Africa, IRI, Shift Africa Hub, iShamba, Southeast Africa, Masecops, KMSA, Tiveta, the media houses. I'll make my work very, very easy because it's also the easiest photo of thanks. It's also not to give a photo of, to continue talking. While I'm looking at you, the energy levels or the sugar levels have gone down. And when you got into the venue here, the table where you are seated, I will not ask you what you first saw. But I can see, and you are confirming that you saw a fork, you saw a spoon, and then you were looking at what goes with that. You could not see that on your table, and then I could see you. I could see your eyes looking to that side, and I'm happy that I'm seeing now our staff getting ready. So without much ado, mine is very, very easy to give a vote of thanks. And allow me to say that it would not have been a success without each and every one of us. Even the people who were here yesterday, who were making these tables. I was allowed this place yesterday. I could see them making those tables for you. So we are saying, right from the word go, inception, to where we are, it has been a success because of your role. So a vote of thanks to all of us. And with that, may I request that you clap for yourself. Just clap for yourself. A clap for yourself. Then a clap for everybody. That's my vote of thanks to all of you. Thank you very much. Bahati. Or Masika. All right.
So, as Mwangi has rightfully, a round of applause for Mwangi. He's normally very good at giving vote of thanks, and we appreciate him. He works at the Institute. He's a deputy director. one of the deputy directors at the Institute. So we are very grateful to you, Mr. Mwangi. Thank you very much for giving us the vote of thanks. So now it's breakfast. Did you come any brunch? As guys call it's brunch. This is what you call brunch. If you've never had brunch, this is it. Breakfast and lunch. This is what it is. This is what the rich people do in at Riverside. This is they are at cafe right now taking brunch. Yeah, as they discuss. So this is an opportunity for us to do the networking, and this is a time for us to share a meal together, and we are grateful to our kitchen staff led by Madam Rose and her team there. Naomba muwapigie makofi. Please clap for them. We are very proud of them. They do a very good job. You'll enjoy yourselves. You'll always be coming back here, as Mr. Chanzu has said. So we would want to give the honor of having the first people to serve this meal as the high table, kindly. To allow them first to take up their breakfast and their meal, and then the rest of us can join after that. I hope that is okay with everybody. And I also want to say something to all of us. Please note, your picture has been taken. You are live on YouTube. And we forgot to ask for permission. But since we have finished, you can't cancel it, Cindy. But if anybody feels they would not want their image to be seen on any media, our social media pages are open, Mercy Kosh's media pages are open, and you're all over Kenya right now. So if you feel that you would not want this to be your story, kindly let us know so that we can see what to do. We apologize for forgetting about the data policy of the country. We are supposed to seek your permission to air you live or take any of your photographs. But since we've already done it, anyway. So kindly rise. We will also share these pictures with the WMO office in Geneva. So kindly rise and kindly lead us. Rose is right there. She will help you with the service. And then the rest of us can join. Naomba muziki sasa ni sherehe. Tumemaliza. But whoever wants the media, whoever wants to be interviewed of the media, kindly let us know. We'll make the interview possible for you. A very good afternoon to all of us. When you go back, go well. And thank you once again for coming to celebrate with us this important occasion. Asanteni sana. Let us join for breakfast, please, if the VIP, yeah. Kindly join for brunch. Naomba tusonge.